everybody, I hope you're all well and fine on this hot day. It's roasting, absolutely roasting. It's like a late September heat wave and no air whatsoever. It's just boiling, too much. Thanks everybody for your birthday wishes on the last vlog. It wasn't actually my birthday. I'm really sorry I confused everybody. It was Al's birthday, and I was baking the cake that very morning of the birthday early. So I was being sort of like, because it was the morning, and he, you know when you're trying to hide something in the house, as it were. And that cookery book, the brilliant Holly Cafe book, I had bought for myself on my birthday, but that's in May. And it was the first time I'd got round to actually making something out of it. Well, I mean, to be fair to Holly the Cafe book, it was a pre-order. So I ordered it in May, but I didn't actually receive it until a few months later when it was printed. Beautiful book though, and I highly recommend the digital version because they don't have the physical one. Anyway, getting on to today's recipe, I am actually quite excited because I love bread, but I've never actually made my own flavourful bread with flavour. To be fair, I've made fougasse, but that's a sort of very like focaccia sort of bread, and it's French. And I thought I want to make normal bread directly in the Ninja drawer, taking the crisper plate out, so that's a whole new thing as well. It's going to have, well, we'll check the ingredients out in a minute, but it's going to have flavour rather than just being flour, salt, yeast, etc. It's going to have added ingredients, a bit like the fougasse, except for not quite the same ingredients. So with that in mind, come and check out the ingredients. So the ingredient list will start floating up in a minute, but I've got strong white bread flour, onions, chives, and these are from my garden. In fact, that's half an onion. I didn't want to overload it because this is only 300 grams. So, I didn't want to use a whole onion. Half a teaspoon of chili flakes to give it a bit of a kick, salt, and then the yeast, sugar, olive oil, just a tablespoon, and 200 ml of tepid water. And in fact, I'm going to put the sugar and the yeast in that now to activate it. Yeah, so let's crack on and start cooking. I'm going to put you up on the wall, and I'm going to start mixing, the ingredients all together. It's not going to be a no-knead bread. I'm going to knead this one because I want it to be a bit lighter. The no-knead bread is quite dense, so it's nice to try out, do a little bit of kneading. So yeah, let's get cracking and start cooking. See you in a bit. So I'm just going to put the flour in. This is activated very nicely, so I'm just going to put that to the side for the moment while I mix in these ingredients: the chives, the onion, salt, and the chili peppers. Dried chili flakes even. I don't often use this. I have had it for a little while, but I'm going to try and use that and see. Yeah. Just try and mix these onions in because they're slightly wet, aren't they, when they first go in. Just try and mix everything in thoroughly before I add the tepid, warm yeast. Oh, do you know what? Chives, I love chives. I absolutely love chives. I'm actually looking forward to this. Right, just make a well, and then I'm going to add the yeasty water. Oh, that really has bubbled. Okay. That wasn't too bad. Right, and I just try and form it into a ball and then start kneading it on a floured surface. Looks nice. I like the look of it. So I'm just going to knead it for 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, I'm liking the look of that with the chives and the onion and little red dots of chili flakes. I've lined the bowl that I initially mixed in with baking parchment, because this is what I'm going to put directly in the Ninja basket once it's when I come to prove the bread. I mean, it will all make a bit more sense. I've actually oiled it slightly, and this is baking parchment I've saved. You know when you get the ready rolled puff pastry, etc. I always save the parchment paper from that, and it's perfect for things like this. So I'm going to put that in there, and we're going to leave it for an hour to rise. Put the shower cap on. Leave it in a nice warm place. I'm going to actually leave it in the garden table because it's very hot out there, and it will rise nice and quickly. So we'll see you in a bit, and this should have hopefully doubled in size at least. See you in a bit. Okay, let's have a look. It's been, well, just over an hour. Ooh, wow, that looks fantastic. I do really like the speckled colour in this dough. That's really amazing. So I'm going to put this on a floured surface, knock it back, and then put it back on the what do you call it, parchment paper, directly in the kasori basket. So I will see you in a bit, just with the floured surface, and extract this from here. So I've just upended it onto a little sprinkle of flour, and I'm just going to separate it, the parchment paper. Because I oiled it, it's actually proven to be quite easy, which is great, because I will use this again in the air fryer. So I just reserve that. I'm just going to just a tiny sprinkle, because I'm going to prove it in the air fryer. But what I'll do is I'll actually preheat the basket to get it nice and hot, so that the dough can prove in that. Just going to be, I want it to, well, you know, get bigger in the basket. So I'm going to turn the air fryer on, get you down off the wall, yeah, and do the next stage. See you in a bit. So I've preheated, just to get the basket warm. So I'm just going to pop the freshly oiled parchment paper back in and plonk the bread in directly. And I'm just going to leave it in like that with the shower cap back on, just to sit and prove for however long it takes. In fact, that's quite cool, sitting like that. Yeah. Ta-da! So yeah, I'm going to be back in, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour. Not sure how long to prove it for. Well, maybe until it's doubled in size. So I will be back in a bit. Okay, let's have a look. Oh wow, that has doubled in size, definitely. Right, let's get it in. Okay, so draw to bake. Now the recipe instruction, I'm following a recipe that's not of the content, but a bread recipe in the air fryer, and it said to cook for the first 15 minutes at 200, and then for 30 minutes at 180. So for the first 15 minutes, I'm going to cook it at 200, or what is that, 400 Fahrenheit. So yeah, and then I'll be back to lower the temperature. So I'll see you in a bit. Well, I'm just going to check it, because this is still the 15 minutes are left. So let's have a quick look, because I can smell serious cooking, if you like. Oh, I think I opened it just in time. Right, I always knew that I was going to have to flip this, so I'm going to actually do that. I'm going to wait for it to cool down for a few minutes, flip it and put it back in at a lower temperature for the 30 minutes. But that's fine, because it just saves the top, so it actually works out quite well. Perhaps I'll adjust the times to at 200/400 for 12 minutes, or even 10, to avoid burning the top. So I'm going to flip it in a minute when it's cooled down, and well, I'll be back in a minute. See you in a bit. So I'm just going to try and, well, quite easily get it out. That's pretty good. Right, I'm just going to drop it in as is. Oh, this is a bit, oh, jeez, oh. So put it back in, and then I'm just going to lower the temperature and up it to 15. In fact, I might do 60. Right, be back in a tick. Right, it has just stopped, so I'm going to put it in for further 10 minutes. What am I doing? Don't know what I'm doing. See you in a bit. I might actually turn it up just to really get it cooking. Oops. Yep, see you in a bit. I'm winging it because, well, it's a, you know, new recipe, hodgepodge from various recipes. Yeah, anyway, see you in a bit. I did turn it up to 200 instead of 180, so we're going to have a look, because I'm winging it. I'm sort of, I always advise, yeah, always check it out. I think that sounds alright. I'm going to leave it there. Leave it on the cooling rack and come back for a taste test. So let's get it on the cooling rack. Let's see. Whoa! Well, it looks great. Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. That's all right. So I'm going to leave that to cool, and then I'll be back for a taste test. See you in a bit. Looks fab with the dusting of flour. I'm very pleased with that. Right, I'll put you down and let's have a nice close look. There's that kind of weird dome. But trial and error. I mean, we're going to cut it open. I mean, bear in mind that dome shape. It's going to be an interesting one. Just getting a knife. I'm going to cut it right in the middle. I might need to adjust the times for future reference. But let's have a look. Ooh. Oh yeah. That's a bit of a shame. But it could have been, look at the rest of it. That would have been I mean, this is probably be very nice toasted. Slightly, yeah, undercooked there. Oh, that's a shame, because apart from that, it looks absolutely fabulous. And it smells really lovely. Oh, look at that though. It's just in that section. So the times need adjusting. I'm going to cut that. Oh, what a shame. I wonder if I can save that. That needs work, but I really do love the look of it. I'm definitely going to give this a second attempt because it looks absolutely fabulous, bar that little section there. Yeah, maybe it was when I dropped it back in, that could have been done with a bit more finesse, I don't know. Or maybe flip it a bit later on. Maybe not have it such high temperature. I mean, there's so many maybes. But let's butter this. Oh, it smells really nice. Right, I'll be back. Just gonna get some marge. I just have the daisy. It's like clover, but a lot cheaper. This bread won't be wasted. It will be toasted for you know, for the rest of it. But this doesn't have that kind of like uncooked dough. And I will definitely try this again because I really will. I'll finesse the timings. In the meantime, taste test time. For the bread that's not been affected, that small section, it's so light. Oh dear, I really wish it had all gone well, but I mean, you don't always get, it never always works out, but I will definitely try this again. Oh, I can taste the chives. Tasty, very tasty. Oh, I got a little bit of a kick then, slight tiny kick of a chilli. And if you like your chilies, add a teaspoon, because I did half a teaspoon. Oh, yeah, that's actually really pleasant, because I'm not great with hot food, but that's just got a really slight tingling going on. Oh, if it didn't have this the doughy bit going on, I would have given that a straight 9 out of 10, maybe even 9.5. But because of that slight issue, it's got to be a 6.5, I reckon. Just because, I mean, it's just such a shame, you know. But going on looks, excuse me. Going on looks, it's a definite 9.5 if you just was looking at it in a shop and it wasn't something that you'd go. And the size is fantastic. It's the size of a Ninja basket, and it you know, it proved back up to a decent height. That's a decent sized loaf. I will definitely try this again and see if I can improve the timings, the flipping, because you definitely need to flip it. There's no question. So back to the drawing board on this one. But in the meantime, not bad. First effort straight in the basket, not bad at all. Definitely try this again, and maybe even if you've got any suggestions for different flavours, let me know, because I will try them and do it again. But get the timings different. Do the timings differently this time. Lower for slightly longer before flipping, perhaps. Flip more carefully. Use the paper sheets, because I kind of dropped it in, and I think that kind of took a bit of air out. Yeah, not a good idea doing that. But in the meantime, thanks everybody for watching. This will be toasted. This is definitely not going to get wasted. Never in a million years, not in this house. And with it toasted, I reckon it would taste even better. And it will sort of kind of solve that whole slightly undercooked situation. The crust is fantastic. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. And don't forget, if you want different fillings, different flavours, let me know, because I will be trying this again, because I want to nail the timing. Thanks everyone. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye.